concrete walls. There's a place for us where we could go, where we could be alone. Between city lights, we don't have to hide. I wanna go, do you wanna follow? There's something in the air, I can't explain it, but it's there. Ain't nobody gonna find us in our secret love affair. I don't wanna have to hide no more, it shouldn't be unfair. I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? I can't understand why we can't hold hands, but they don't know what we have is real love. Aren't you sick and tired of having to hide? I know a place, do you wanna follow? There's something in the air, I can't explain it, but it's there. Ain't nobody gonna find us in our secret love affair. I don't wanna have to hide no more, it shouldn't be unfair. I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow?
What's up? I'm Joshua. Oh, I almost spilled my whole drink. I'm Joshua Bardwell. You're going to learn something today. What's up, guys? Hello, chat. Hello, patrons in the Discord. How is it going, guys? Y'all ready to do some Q's and some A's? I normally shout you guys out while we're doing the theme music, but I ran upstairs and grabbed my drink. My drink today, everybody's always very interested in what I'm drinking. License to drive. All right. With a little bit of practice, I actually have a decent Matthew McConaughey impression. I'm not going to try and do one because I haven't. You got to really get in. You got to listen and prep yourself to do impressions. I don't want to embarrass myself. All right. Got to clean my glasses. Oh, hello, everybody. Let's see the shirt. This shirt is by Bob. Let me move my mic out of the way. The shirt was made by the artist. I think I know who the artist is, but I'm not 100% sure I'm remembering correctly. So I'm not going to take a chance that I say the wrong name and upset somebody. The shirt was commissioned by Bob Davis. He goes by Peckerwood FPV. He is a Get FPV / Lumineer sponsored pilot. He hired somebody to make this shirt for him, and he graciously gave me one. And you guys always want to know where you can get it. I don't even know if he's still making them, but you guys should hit up Bob Davis. He's on the Get FPV Facebook group if you need to find him. If you're going to get him, he could make it for you. Aaron Boyd. I graduated Georgia Tech in 98. So I think I was 93 through 98 as a computer science major. So I missed you. But I don't miss Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech was a good time, and I'm glad it's over. And a lot of tech graduates feel that way. Would tri-blades fit a DJI? Tommy Lou wants to know. Tommy Lou, DJI has proprietary props. They're folding. Depends on the... Yeah, no, you can't just put any props on it. And that's what we do. That's what we do here. Questions and answers. You ask the questions, I give the answers, and we're going to do that for about 2 hours, and we'll have a good time. Today I am drinking... This is Berry Pomegranate Mio Squirt. Mio, sponsor my live streams. The reason I want Mio, you guys may wonder why I'm constantly saying Mio sponsor my live streams. Well, the first reason is that, as like most people, I like money. But I have principles, and I don't like to compromise my principles in order to get money. So I don't take sponsors for like if I said, hey, so-and-so, do you want to sponsor my live stream? They would probably pay to do it. And then the problem is that I can't take sponsorships from like people in the industry because then my objectivity, yada, yada, yada. But Mio's got nothing to do with RC. I use and love Mio squirts, flavor squirts that make delicious drinks. And if they did sponsor me, no one could accuse me of being lacking on objectivity. So, Mio, get in here. It's pomegranate. I don't actually like the pomegranate squirt by itself, but it goes really good with a little bit of tequila. And I'm not saying that's in there now because the kids are in the room, but... T-Rex, my friend's quad continues to gain altitude on a punch-out, followed by, even when it's at 0 throttle. T-Rex, there is too high of a D-gain, not enough filters. You've been working the filter sliders to the right and you went too far, or a mechanical problem like a broken standoff or something. Those are the 3 things. Vampire 4997, I am not actually a tequila drinker, but I usually don't. I mean, I'll have a margarita at a Mexican restaurant. Don't get me wrong. But that's not like usually what I go for. But let's, damn it. I did a whoop race at Severe Distilling, and I won the whoop race. And one of the prizes was a bottle of this Tequila. It's an agave liquor, but they can't call it tequila because tequila comes from Mexico. So this is a blue agave spirit in the style of tequila, and it's really freaking good. It's really freaking good. So there you go. In case you're new here, and if you're new here, say hello in the chat. I'd love to welcome you to your first live stream. Tequila, Kyle K, like tequila, Tennessee tequila. See, it's tequila. That's all it is. If you're new here, say hello. You ask the questions, I answer the questions. That's how it goes. Real quick, here's what I got going on. This right here, this is you guys here in the chat. Hello, Luke. Hello, Decode. You are not. It's not your first live stream, Decode. You're breaking the sanctity of the first live stream. Shout out, Decode. T-Rex, Pro 71 Full, David Eagle, Justin Flood, Justin Azaka, Ace Man, Jay McLeod, Duck My Squee, I feel dirty just saying it, David Ray, Cage Drummer, etc., etc. Michael Schaefer, the milkshakes were all... Oh. See, that's how it goes. Why don't I sell my own ready-to-fly builds for those of us that suck at soldering? Randy Walden, when I see how much Steel sells his ready-to-fly builds for, what does Stingy sell his ready-to-flies for? I know Stingy started selling some. Steel sells his for $1,100, and I'm like, I just... I get okay. So like one reason I don't do ready to fly builds is that it's so much freaking work and I barely have time to build my own quads. So like I would have to charge a ridiculous amount of money to make it worthwhile. But then I see Steel selling quads for $1,100 and I'm like, well, okay, that seems like a fair. I mean, more than fair. But I just let's just leave something for somebody else. That's what I say. Now. You're going to ask questions. I'm going to answer questions. See, we've already got a bunch of them done. They're coming up here. They come by fast and furious, and I can't always get to. Like this question from DC, I can't get it right now because there's too many things to go through. So if you want to make sure that your question gets noticed, check out Ken Simmons right here, hitting a $5 super chat. Go down here, hit the $sign. There's no $sign on mine because I've popped out the chat. But if you look down here at the bottom of the chat, you'll see a $sign, and you can hit that. You can leave a super chat, throw a couple bucks at me, and I will almost certainly get to your question. I occasionally do miss super chats, but. And then over here, hello patrons. This is my Discord server. The patrons get 60% of the screen. That's because you guys are more important. No, it's because Discord doesn't compress well. These guys over here in my Discord server are my patrons. If you want to join them over there, there is a link in the video description where you can join my Patreon for as little as $2 a month or more if you feel like I've earned it. And one of the benefits of being a patron is just you get to feel good. You get to feel good about supporting the important work that I know. You also get to be on my Discord server, and during live streams, I will not entirely ignore you. Now, they've got a game going on right now where every time I call out my website, the first one to post a screenshot of my website or the screenshot of the screen wins. So they're playing their own little game in there. There's no prizes though. Let's talk about news of the day before we get to the questions, and we will get to the questions. But let's talk real quick about news of the day. Mio, sponsor my live stream. I got a little bit more news for you guys about the Caddx Vista. This is the new DJI licensed and compatible VTX made by Caddx. Hello. Why Caddx? I don't know, but the DJI basically licensed them the tech, and they did the hardware design. And I have one of the people who is in the know gave me a little bit of information that I can share with you guys about it, which I will do right now. Let's see. I have to go to make sure I don't accidentally. I mean, it's not secret, so I guess I could reveal who it was, but I'm going to try not to. So, according to this source, it's 20 by 20 with an M2 screw mounting solution. It's up to 600 milliwatts max output power, only slightly less than the DJI Air unit, which maxes at 700 milliwatts. Of course, as you probably know, you can do a mod to it and get it higher. No DVR built in. Does not have a DVR built in. And does have a receiver built in. You can use it with the DJI controller. Is there any other information? Up to 6S input. I'm just scrolling through and looking for any other stuff we talked about. I don't think so. Okay, that's all I know right this minute about this hot little exciting piece of work. Doc Harris wants to know, can I use your flight controller and ESC with DJI and Crossfire? You can use it, but don't power DJI Air unit off the 9-volt regulator. It can't handle it. UAV Tech, yes, no sound. UAV Tech, one of the things people have been asking for is sound, and the DJI Air unit does have a microphone on it, but it doesn't transmit that audio back to the goggles. I'm so sure that if DJI wanted to, just with a firmware update, they could enable that function, just because they seem like the kind of company to make it, not lock themselves into a hardware limitation, but they haven't done that. License to Drive is not impressed with Caddx. Yeah, the thing is, if DJI has licensed this to Caddx, they're probably going to license it to anybody, and you can have your pick. And that is, I think it's so... This is really bad news for Bytefrost. I mean, I don't want to be a downer, but if you think about it, one of the things that Bytefrost had going for it was small size. This thing's supposed to weigh like 35 grams, so still not as light as a regular VTX, but a lot lighter than the Air unit. And the other thing that Bytefrost has going for it is sort of its openness. Bytefrost isn't really open. It's HD0 makes the hardware, and they license it to companies like Fat Shark, and that's kind of what DJI is doing here. So does this mean that the DJI Vista is just as open as Bytefrost? And this is bad news. Don't know the price. People are asking what's the price. Don't know the price. No one has told me the price. So James Stevens wants to know, How do you hook up an FPV camera with a mic and smart audio? My VTX doesn't have a mic, but my FPV camera does. When I try to wire it up, I can get one or the other, but not both. James Stevens, that is often the case. The audio from the mic corrupts the smart audio signal. There are some like filter circuits you can try to use to get them both working, but the truth is that I just assume that you can't have them both at the same time unless you have a VTX that has separate audio and smart audio inputs, which you obviously don't. So I think you're going to have to give up the mic, because I sure as heck wouldn't want to give up smart audio. License to Drive says Bitefrost always looked like a rushed beta. I do feel like it was rushed. When DJI released, like the next day, Fat Shark was like, but we have Bitefrost. And then they were like, well, actually give us a few weeks. And the thing that makes it stand out to me now is that DJI is a finished product ready for, it's a complete product. It's polished. And Vista, Bitefrost is not quite there yet. So let's see. But Bitefrost was officially a beta. They said as much in the product listing. And a beta that Duck My Squee, thank you for $5 New Zealand in the super chat. Duck My Squee says, rumor says Vista is coming, no camera at US $75. Then what camera? Is it going to use a proprietary camera or a regular analog camera? Don't know. Let's get a couple of those super chats out of the way, because there have been a ton of them coming in, and it's so early in the stream. But let's get some of these super chats out of the way. Ken Simmons, thank you for $5. I got the Meteor and found it hard to fly. Should I put Project Mockingbird on it? Nothing like my Tiny Hawk with Project Mockingbird. Ken Simmons, what I did with my Meteor for flying in auto level mode was raise the level strength in the PID tuning tab. I raised it. It comes with the default, I think, of like 70. I raised it to like 110, and the quad sharpened up. The other thing, Ken, the Meteor is really powerful for a 1S quad. It's very hard, especially indoors, to control the throttle. So I would fly it indoors with like a 65% throttle limit. And then for racing in a more open environment, it's just wide open. I don't think there is a Project Mockingbird tune for the Meteor. If there just because it's so new. But if there is one, then absolutely go for it. Project Mockingbird is awesome. Mike Duran, 24, thanks for $2. Duck My Squee, $2 New Zealand asks, what does this button do? It sends me money, Duck My Squee. Thank you for hitting that button. 3DRC, thanks for $5 in the super chat. AKK VTX with smart audio setup. I downloaded the VTX table, but the protocol it's using without permission isn't working anymore. Please help. 3DRC, don't freak out about the AKK unlicensed smart audio. That has nothing to do with anything. There was originally, when the very first like Mach 3, Mach 2 VTX came out. Hang on. Pardon me. Please don't get a cold. Please don't get a cold. My, hang on. My kid has a cold right now. That's what he looks like. So I'm hoping I'm not getting his cold. Fingers crossed. You can't get a cold through a live stream, though, so don't freak out. So there was an issue with smart audio compatibility. It had, I don't think it had anything to do with it being licensed, but it is, I guess it's true that if they had actually licensed it, they might have double checked it and they wouldn't have made the mistake. The thing is, if you have unless you are using like a Mach 2 VTX or an AKK VTX from like 2 years ago, this issue doesn't affect you. Most likely the issue is you've loaded the wrong VTX table. So you need, for the AKK VTX, it's 99%, you need the Smart Audio 2.0 VTX table. Not the Smart Audio 2.1, and that could be the problem. Okay? Let's see here. Continuing on. I see questions coming into the pleb chat, and I want to get them, but now that I've started answering super chats, I got to finish or I'll miss one. So, Monkey FPV, thank you for $5. Best replacement antennas for the DJI goggles and air unit, and is right hand or left hand better? Love you and what you do. Thank you, Monkey, for that. Right hand or left hand doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. However, since most people are using right hand, you would get less interference if you went left hand. In a vacuum, though, right hand or left hand, there's no advantage to either. They're both equally as good. As far as the best replacement antennas, I think you should check out. Let me find this. RC Shim, if you don't know who here it is. If you don't know who he is, he does some really cool tests, including latency tests, and he just did, here we go, his latest video is a test of different DJI FPV antennas. So if you really want to dig in, go check out his video. But I think the one that stands out to me, so I know some people who have used the TrueRC stubby antennas, and they are pretty good Omni antennas. People who have used them tell me that they are better than the stock antennas. I don't know if they're better than any, like the Lumineer Axes. Are the TrueRC stubbies better than the Axes? I don't know. I haven't tested them. You should check out RC Shim's page. The ones that I would probably lean towards would be either the TrueRC stubbies or for directional, the TrueRC X-Airs. Those are ones that I have used and tested informally and know to be pretty freaking good. Yeah, Boyd, thanks for $5. Yeah, I helped Yeah Boyd on the Discord server, and he's thanking me for that. Richard Harris, thanks for $5. Unable to get external power out to the external bay to power the Crossfire module on the Taranis X9D Plus. Richard Harris, you need to make sure in your model setup that the external module is set to Crossfire. If it's turned off, it won't power. It'll power down to save battery. The other thing is that with a JR module, sometimes the pins slide in sideways and they're not actually in the socket. Now, you're not doing that because I can't tell if you're using the full-size Crossfire module or the small one. If you're using the JR module bay, make sure the pins are actually sliding in correctly. If you're using the full-size Crossfire, make sure you've got the wiring correct. You may have messed it up. But, yeah, okay. So thank you, Richard, for that. Shai Paredic, thanks for $2. What's the point of RX ranges in the Betaflight CLI anymore? Shai, RX range is used to get your endpoints correct. And you might think, well, I can just change my endpoints on the transmitter, so why would I need to use RX range in the CLI? I like to use RX range because I use the same model in my radio for all of my quads. So if I've got a bunch of quads with RXSR receivers, they're all probably going to have pretty much the same endpoints. But if I've got like one oddball Crazy Bee board with a different receiver, it's going to have the same D16 protocol, but it's not necessarily going to have the same endpoints. And instead of making a whole separate model for that one oddball quad, I can use RX range in Betaflight to fix the endpoints, and I don't have to change the model on my radio. So that's the point. Holy crap. D. Taylor just gave $50 in the live stream. No question, just Merry Christmas. Thank you, D. Taylor. Merry Christmas to you, and thank you for the massive, massive donation. Okay, there we go. We're caught up on Super Chats now. Now we can get back to... Let's go to the Discord. Let's check out the Discord before we rotate back to the regular chat. OCDFPV in the Discord wants to know, I have 2 ESCs that don't read on BLLE32. Does that mean they're dead? Motors 2 and 4 don't spin up, and both of those ESCs get hot when just plugged into the battery. Well, OCDFPV, after the first line of your question, I was like, well, it could be, and then you just put the freaking nail right through the heart of that thing. No, they're dead. If the ESCs are getting hot when they're just plugged in, they have a short circuit in them, and you're risking frying your motors. So get rid of that. Piratic has a good troubleshooting tip. Whenever you suspect that an ESC might be fried, pinch the motor with your fingers and plug in the battery. You're going to need 3 hands to do this. I don't know. You'll need a friend. Pinch the motor and plug in the battery and see if you feel the motor vibrate with the beeps. If the motor doesn't even beep when you plug in, ESC's done. Boshua Jardwell. Really? Someone's changed their name in my Discord to Boshua Jardwell. Okay, that's cool. I don't care. Hey, they're a patron. They can call themselves whatever they like. Joshua, I just got an Eachine trash can with a FreeSky receiver. Do I need a new model on my radio, or can I use the same one I use with my 5-inch? Yeah, I would use the same receiver as long as it's I would use the same model as long as they're all D8, D16, whatever they are. You can't mix and match different receiver types like D16 versus D8 versus Crossfire on the same model. But as long as they're the same receiver type, you can mix and match the models. And you'll have to obviously set them up the same. Any chance that I'm going to... Luke Meyer wants to know if I'm going to look at the Aguona UR2. Well, Luke, I'll look at it right now. Let's have a look at the Aguona UR2. What the hell is this? It's a... yes. So I think these guys reached out to me about reviewing this. And I am not convinced about this. I'm not convinced that any 3D printed frame will work for, I mean, like for a little 65 millimeter whoop, it can work, although it's heavy. It's heavy compared to like an injection molded frame. But for anything bigger, it's just the weight versus strength versus flexibility. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Either this is, I think this is going to be so heavy that it'll fly badly, or it's going to be, or it's going to be fragile and break. I just am not convinced. And if you are going to go with a 3D printed frame, then the only reason you would go with a 3D printed frame is because you want to print it yourself. Are these guys releasing the SVG for this? Oh my God. And it's 200 euros. Oh, it's 200. Okay, it's 200 euros ready to fly. Okay, my bad. That's not for the frame. If these guys aren't releasing the SVG, then I don't know why you would use it. Because if you have a 3D printer at home and you are just dying to 3D print your own quadcopter frame, you know, it's your funeral, but go for it. At least you have the advantage that you can 3D print another one when inevitably it breaks. But in this case, why would you pay someone else to 3D print you a frame? You could pay someone else to cut you a frame out of carbon too, you know. So, yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but that's my impression. Okay. One more question from the Discord, because I love this question so much. Carve FPV wants to know if you move the gyro filter and D-term filter all the way to the right and you don't get hot motors or flyaways with new props, but then during flying you bend the props a bit and notice some oscillations, what should you do? What I would suggest you do, Carve FPV, is tune your filters with beat-up props, and then you'll know how bad things could get. If you tune your filters with perfect props, and then you bend a prop and you start to notice some oscillation, you could be at risk for smoking a motor. Now, there's guys out there who push their tune to the absolute edge. And when they bend a prop, they just don't fly home. They just go pick it up and they change their props. But that's not me, and that's probably not you. So tune your filters with beat-up props. And then, yeah. Pappy wants to know if I've ever used the SpeedyBee Bluetooth adapter. Pappy, I have a review. Search my channel for SpeedyBee. You'll find my review of it. Luke Meyer says, well, UAV Future just checked out this drone and had good things to say. Wow. You mean Stu checked out a product and he thought it was amazing? Oh, sorry, Stu. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. People are going to think, I'm ragging on him a little bit. It's true. I'm just, so, yeah. I don't see it. I don't see it. Like, what are you getting? What are you getting that you don't get with it? Maybe I should go watch Stu's review. Super durable. You know what else is super durable? Carbon fiber. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. There's no way a 3D printed frame can be as strong as a carbon fiber frame. There's no way. And it's heavier. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Meanwhile, the questions are scrolling by. You are drone 2. Hang on. Where did I have emails about this product somewhere. I'm not going to be able to find it. No. Okay, never mind. What's the weight? What's the weight of the damn thing? Weight without battery, 93 grams. That's not bad for a 3-inch. That's not actually bad. 20 minutes flight time, up to 20. Oh, well, maybe. 93 grams without battery. So it's going to be like, it's still going to be under 250 grams with battery. Maybe. I don't know. I gotta, Stu's seen it and I haven't, so I will defer to him. That's all I'll say. Okay. Let's get back to the chat. Josh, you need a real printer. You need a real printer, says Preston Monroe. You're referring, I assume, to my 3D printer. Prusa i3 Mark III. Yeah, I should spend $1,000 on a real printer. Yeah, I'm sure it would be great. Real printers. Luca RC wants to know, my HX115 has only 2 screws holding the motors in. Should I put the other 2 in? It came with 2. Well, if Beta FPV shipped it with 2, then you're probably okay. Every gram counts, but those screws are pretty tiny. My guess is they're Loctited in, and in that case, it's not a big deal. Would you recommend buying a True DX for $45 USD? Other modules like Rapid Fire blow it out of the park. Well, here's the thing, Trill. For $45, True DX is probably worth getting. It's like a third of the price of a Rapid Fire. And most people don't want to spend $100 more to get the additional performance that Rapid Fire delivers. So yeah, if you want the best, I don't think there's any question that Rapid Fire is the best analog receiver you can get, but it's like $150. And, not everybody wants to spend all their money on the absolute best. The True DX is more than good enough for everybody's use, and at a price of about $45, it's a steal. That's what I would say. Ender 3 or Ender 3 Pro, asks Alex Rinchka. Alex, that's a good question. I have been trying to answer that question as I think about reviewing the Ender 3 Pro that I've got. I am still very much a noob when it comes to 3D printers, but here's what I do is I sort of just lay in the middle of the room like a sponge and soak things up. And eventually I can sort of, like a mother bird feeding her babies, regurgitate that knowledge out in a... This analogy's gone off the rail. From what I'm hearing, people who are smarter than me seem to think the Ender 3 Pro is a worthwhile upgrade, especially because the Ender 3 Pro is now a lot cheaper than it was when it first came out. You can find Ender 3s for $150, $160. An Ender 3 Pro you can get, I think they're like $250, $240, but you can find them cheaper. The upgraded Y-axis on the Ender 3 Pro and the upgraded power supply, most people seem to agree that those are worthwhile upgrades. I think that you're going to end up doing more upgrades, but that's kind of a given. The question is whether you'd rather buy the Ender 3 for $150 and then put $50 worth of upgrades in it and like maybe save yourself $30 or $40, or whether you'd just rather get the Ender 3 Pro and, so. Is TBS Fusion better than Rapid Fire? No. Nope, just isn't. Now, when TBS Fusion releases their new upgraded receiver module, that's going to be a $10 upgrade. If you already have Fusion, they're going to sell you the upgraded receiver board for $10, and they're going to jack the price up by $10, so you didn't lose anything by buying early. When they release that, it will have the same chip on it that Rapid Fire does. and presumably the performance will be much, much closer. As of today, the chip used, and this is from Liveview FPV. He did a video where he tore these modules down, so I'm totally just stealing his content. Go check out his channel, Liveview FPV, Livyu. He does a teardown. According to that video, as of today, the chip that's in the Fusion has worse specs than the chip that's in the Rapid Fire, and therefore it validates my subjective impression that the Rapid Fire performs worse. Tobot FPV says, my HX115 fail-safed and flew away. Well, Tobot FPV, if it fail-safed and flew away, then it means you didn't test fail-safe before you flew, and you gotta do that with every quad. You must test fail-safe with props off, and you should never have a flyaway. Ender 3 Pro is $188 on Banggood right now. For reals? $188. Is that for reals? I gotta get this review done. I gotta get this review finished. That's a great price. Ender 3 Pro. Okay, so here's the thing. Jeez, Ender, $180. USA Warehouse, $188. Holy crap. Okay. Let's just make a little affiliate link here real quick. Okay, you guys. Wow. Okay, here's the thing. I'm pasting that in the chat. That's an affiliate link in case it wasn't obvious. The Ender 3 Pro, the question that people are always asking me, because I've got the Sovol SV01, which has some differences from the Ender 3 Pro, but the Ender 3 Pro, it doesn't have a direct drive extruder. Some people think that's a plus. Some people think that's a minus. It doesn't have the dual Z-axis motors, right? But many people say if you don't have a direct drive extruder, you don't need that. Here's what I'll say. My Ender 3 Pro has been printing really good. It's been printing really good, despite the fact that on paper it has all these disadvantages compared to the Sovol. Other than TPU, the results I've been getting out of it has been really good. And even with TPU, everybody agrees that with the right settings, you can get the Ender to print TPU well. So the Sovol is $300 new and $250 on sale. This Ender 3 Pro is $188. Like, if you're looking for a 3D printer, just can't argue with that. And although the Ender 3 Pro is not perfect, like there's people who say, you shouldn't buy an Ender. You shouldn't buy. Somebody said to me this weekend, "Don't buy any 3D printer less than $500." And I was like, "Well, really?" He's like, "Because a lot of people aren't going to go for that." So the Ender 3 Pro isn't perfect, but a lot of people seem to agree it is a great place to get your feet wet with 3D printing, and at a price of $188, it seems like a real freaking steal. So, yeah, Random Chaos, you are correct. The Sovol has a larger print bed, a lot larger. You can look at the numbers, but when you look at them side by side, the Sovol is way bigger. It's just, I think, a question of whether you want to go from $188 to $250 or $300 in order to get there. Yeah. Yeah, Bill Revenaugh. Here's the thing about printing TPU with a Bowden extruder. Everybody agrees that Bowden extruders are not the best, that you want direct drive for flex filament, but that you can do it. You just have to get the settings right. The thing about the Ender is so many people have it that you can just try their settings until you find one that works. So there you go. So, yep. Anyway, $188, geez, that's a great price. Hugo Hebert wants to know, does the Rapid Fire worth buying to put in Attitude V5 goggles compared to the stock modules? Yes. Hugo, the Rapid Fire is just way, way better than any of the stock modules. It's just better. Is it worth $150? Only you can answer that question, but there's no question that it is better. Marco Travasos wants to know, on the $500 price range, what's the suggestion for 3D printers? I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Marco. The dude I was talking to about 3D printing, the guy who said don't buy anything less than $500, he's like a super 3D printing nerd. I'm going to message him right now and say, in the $500 price range, what printer do you recommend? And when he gets back to me, I'll let you know, and I'll let you know. So stick around, but I got to get on Instagram, which is where I'm messaging him. I don't know how to Instagram. Here we go. Where's he at? What 3D printer around 500 do you recommend? Let's see if he gets back to me. I'll leave my phone up. Okay. Preston Monroe, message me. I'll send you the frame of your choice. Preston, is that a 3D? Do you work for the company that makes that 3D printed frame on bad mouthing? Yeah. Yep. Sovol's giving away a 3D printer in their YouTube channel right now. Nice. Prusa i3 Mini, $350, Jack Squatch, you're right. I think just based on Prusa's reputation, there is no question that the Prusa i3 Mini is going to produce better results out of the box than anything we're talking about. And the reason for that is not just that Prusa makes great 3D printers, but that they seem to have a whole ecosystem of printers, filament, and software that works together. Similar to Apple, right? It's a whole ecosystem. They control all aspects of it. So you download a profile for your Ender 3, and maybe it's for the exact filament you're using, and maybe it isn't. But since Prusa controls all aspects, they can get you closer to great results right out of the box. And so the problem is that for $350, the Prusa i3 Mini, you won't get it till February, at least right now. That's when pre-orders will start arriving. So Shice wants to know, do you think we'll get Rapid Fire plus SPI on the Fat Shark HDO2 like with the Orcas? Unknown, Shice. It's a question of whether Fat Shark has the guts to make that step. Fat Shark, it feels like they have been very, and I'm speaking very frankly, and I feel a little bit bad because, like, I've met those guys. They're good guys, and they want to make good products, but they have definitely become a little bit comfortable in where they are, and they don't have the hunger to take risks and maybe fail, So Fat Shark, when they released the HDO2, did not put the upgraded DVR from the Scout in the HDO2. And they said they didn't do that because they didn't want to risk delays. Okay. But if they didn't put the DVR from the Scout in their brand new flagship goggle, do you think they're like busting their ass till midnight to put SPI in it? Doesn't feel like they are. Creality Ender 5 for $257 US. Wow. Yeah. Send the Ender link again. Well, if you insist. Here's the Ender link again. This is not like a coupon code or anything. This is just an affiliate link to what looks like a really good price. $188 for the Ender 3. I don't think you can go wrong. Ender 3 Pro. I don't think you can go wrong there. And if you're looking at that if you've been on the fence and you're about to pull the trigger, just go click my freaking link and I get a commission and it helps support me. Okay. IMAX is looking at the Artillery Sidewinder. I have heard good things about the Sidewinder series from some people who have them, but I don't know if those people are like 3D printing experts. The problem is that with 3D printers, you always have to look at the price versus every 3D printer needs to be improved in some way. And so the question is just where you're going to get on that sort of escalator, right? Are you going to get on with this printer and need to put a lot of work into improving it? Or are you going to get on with this printer and be pretty close to perfect? And then the question is how much you pay to get on the escalator, right? So with an Ender 3, you can pay $150 and get on the escalator way down at the bottom. But the question is really whether you're getting value for your money. There's printers that you'll pay too much for and have to put a lot of work in. There's printers that you pay a good price and you get a lot of value for. And the question is not whether, like, the Artillery Sidewinder is a good printer, I think. The question is where it is in the price versus performance. Haschenberg says, enjoy the commission. You just cost me another $200. Thank you, Haschenberg. Vicanair FPV wants to know, is DJI ever going to make or license a digital FPV module for Fat Sharks or Orcas? Vicanair FPV, I would say no. But then if I would have bet all the money in the world, if you had come to me 2 weeks ago and said, hey, what do you think the chances are that Caddx is going to make a DJI Air unit? I would have said 0. And if you had said, I will bet you $500 that Caddx is about to make an Air unit, I would have probably taken that bet. Except I would have been suspicious that you knew something I didn't know. So, will Fat Shark make a module for DJI for will DJI make a module for Fat Shark? I don't think so, but I think freaking all bets are off at this point. MC's Creations, thank you for 5 Brazilian reais in the super chat. Sovol's giving away a 3D printer on their YouTube channel right now, but don't click away from my stream. Go, just open 2 tabs. Don't leave my stream to win a free. No, I don't. I guess I see the point. I should give away a 3D printer. How do you do a giveaway on stream? I don't really know how to do it. Stay on my stream. Don't go to Sovol's stream. Here's what we're gonna do. Oh, you guys. I shouldn't drink tequila and stream. See, I do giveaways. I feel like Mr. Beast right now. I want to be Mr. Beast. I want to be the kind of YouTuber who can just give away $50,000 on a, Here's what we're going to do. Hang on. Bear with me. It's going to be worth it in the end. I'm going to do a giveaway right now. A spontaneous giveaway. I need to make a copy of this. Okay. So I'm going to I didn't prepare to do this. So you got to sit around while I do this. Ender 3 Pro giveaway. Okay. Okay. We don't need that. I need to get rid of that. Can I get rid of that? Okay. Is it? Can I do that? Was that going to work? All right. So now I need to... How do I share it? Send. Okay, I got it. Copy. Shorten URL. Copy. Okay. So this is a link to a Google form, and it will ask you to log in to Gmail so that there's no duplicate entries. And it will ask you, that's all you got to do. Just give me your email address. At the end of the stream, I'll do a drawing and I'll give away an Ender 3 Pro. For $188, you can hardly go wrong. Okay? There we go. Now, if you do go to try to win the free Sovol SVO1, at least leave my stream open, okay? Post it in Discord. I did, didn't I? There it is. There it is in the Discord. Here it is in the chat. I'll keep posting it. Okay. Rip FPV, thanks for $5. What are your thoughts on the Ender 5 3D printer? I don't have any thoughts. I'm still very, very new to 3D printers. I'm sorry to say, my friend. I don't have any opinions about that. Mike Duran 24, thanks for $5. RSSI displays 0 from the arming. After 30 seconds and 20 meters, starts hovering by itself until it crashes. So Mike Duran, RSSI displaying 0 probably just means your RSSI isn't set up right. It probably doesn't mean anything. But if it starts hovering by itself till it crashes, your failsafe is set up wrong. It should disarm when it failsafes. The question, I guess, is, and you have Crossfire. Yikes! Crossfire definitely shouldn't failsafe after 30 seconds. The first thing I want you to do, Mike Duran, is set your failsafe up correctly so that when your quad failsafes, it disarms. In Crossfire, there's an option for failsafe setting. You do it in the Crossfire Lua script, or if you have the full-size module, you do it in the module. And you need to set, it's in the receiver settings. You need to set the receiver, set failsafe to cut instead of hold position. Go do that right now. And then test it with props off. Because when you failsafe, you don't want the quad to just freeze up until it crashes. As for why you're getting failsafe, Mike Duran, the number one thing I can think of that would cause short range failsafe with Crossfire is if you are on the wrong frequency band. In the US, you need to be using 915 megahertz. In the EU, you need to be using 858. And if you're using the wrong one, you'll interfere with this. What, the link doesn't work? Hang on, guys. What do you mean? No, the link works because I have entries. Hang on. I'm not going to show you the entries because you'll see people's email addresses and they'll be mad at me. I have 179 responses right now. The link should be working, guys. I'm going to keep pasting that link. Okay. If the link isn't working like on mobile, maybe you need to go on PC. Okay, link is working. Okay. Raven says it's not working on mobile. I don't know what to tell you. You got to figure it out. The link is working. Mike Duran, you live in China. Mike, I think you want 915 megahertz in China. I think it's basically just in the US. And by the way, guys, I will do the giveaway at the end, so I hope you stick around to the end. But obviously, if you're not here at the end, I'll just email you. I know that as a YouTuber, I should insist that you be here so that I trick you into staying. But I'm not that kind of guy. Okay. Let's see. Donnie24FPV, thanks for $5. I keep getting network error 33. Wait, one more thing. Mike Duran, the other thing is if you're getting these fail-safes, swap the receiver. If you only get fail-safes with one receiver, it's the receiver. If you get fail-safes with a bunch of receivers, it's the transmitter. That's another basic thing. Donnie24FPV, thanks for $5. I keep getting network error 33 when I try to update the firmware on my DJI goggles and air unit. Do you know what that issue could be? Donnie, I don't know that specific issue, but it means that your computer can't get at the DJI servers. Are you behind a firewall? Are you like in China? No, DJI is from China. It should work from there. I don't know. But, you need network connectivity. But other than that, I don't know what to tell you. Thank you for the $5 donation. I wish I could be more helpful. It's the Ender 3 Pro that we're going to be giving away at the end of this stream. Ender 3 Pro. 3DRC, thanks for $5. I remember you mentioning you have a background in computer networking. I do. I used to do Wi-Fi site surveys and installs before I quit my job to become... let's check up on my old company. I shouldn't put them on the stream. This is the company I used to work for before I became a full-time YouTuber. Please do not, you guys, don't be sending them stupid messages or being jerks. They don't know. This is where I used to work for, though. I used to do site surveys with them. Wi-Fi. I used to be this guy. Yep. I made this report. I probably made... Hey, I know this theme. I know the theme. I know what website back in they're using. I used to be this guy, literally, except I had a little suspender strap to hold my laptop up, as opposed to this guy. You can't do this all day. Your hand is going to be so tired by the end of the day. I had little suspender straps that held my laptop up. Yep. And where's the report? I don't know. It's not there. Anyway, the question is, I have our home routers circularly polarized. No, they're not. They're linear polarized. Okay. Let's see here. Worked from Discord on mobile. Yeah, I think if you're in the YouTube app, maybe, what's my degree? Shaman 606. I have a degree in computer science from the Georgia Institute of Technology. Ciara Walquist wants to know what the best toothpick is. Ciara, if you really want the best toothpick, I have to say that Kebab's toothpick is probably, like, there's people out there before Kebab who are building toothpicks. And when I give credit to Kebab for, like, popularizing the toothpick movement, some of those people are annoyed at me. And they're like, Kebab didn't invent the toothpick. There's no doubt that he popularized the toothpick and that he has put a lot of work into developing the toothpick platform. And surely his has to be the best. You could buy a ready-to-fly toothpick. Like, my personal favorite is the HX115. That's the one that I've personally flown that just flies the best for me. But if you really want the best, you have to go build the one that Kebab makes, and just, like, it's got to be the best, right? Anyway. My patrons are trying to get me to give away more stuff over in the Discord. the patrons are like, hey, Bugatti's giving away a Chiron. They would think I'm going to then be like, I'm giving away one. No, that's all. That's the only giveaway with spontaneous giveaway that we're doing. Raven 187, thanks for $2 Australian. Aussie has its own 915 crossfire frequency. That is true. If you're in Australia, you're on 915, but it's a different 915. David Noose, thanks for $5. Happy holidays to you, my friend. Duck My Squee, thanks for $5 New Zealand. Can we do a reverse giveaway where we all send you our EV100 goggles and then you sacrifice them to angry seagulls? Please do not send me your EV100 goggles. I don't want them. Daytona Jim 78, thanks for $2. Daytona Jim wants you to smash the like button. How do I change the VTX output on my HX115? Asks Luca RC. Luca RC, that should work from the OSD. In the Betaflight OSD, you open up the menu by going center throttle, yaw left, pitch forward. That'll bring up the OSD menu, and then you use the right stick to move through the menu, and the left stick, left, right, to make selections. No, left stick, never mind. Forget the left stick. And then it'll be, oh, I see, Raven 187. The Aussie 915 is inverted because you're upside down. Yeah, I did miss that. So then in the HX115 OSD, you'll go Features, and then I can't remember if it's VTX SA or VTX TR. I don't remember that one. I'm going to keep posting that link to the giveaway, guys. You guys are welcome to keep answering. Find a way to get your email on there. At the end of the live stream, I will do a giveaway. I should make sure my patrons know about this. Hang on. I'm going to make a quick post on my Patreon so the patrons can try and get in. Although, maybe I shouldn't, because then if they miss it, they'll be mad. Never mind. Yeah, no. Sorry. Live stream only. If I do the post, if I post on Patreon and guys show up tomorrow morning and they're like, they'll be so mad. Video's frozen. The video is not frozen to me. Chris, I'm sorry. I don't know why the link only takes me to the channel. Copy paste the link. Do it in the desktop. I don't know what to tell you, my friend. You just got to make it work. K-Man 1923, I'm giving away an Ender 3 Pro printer from Banggood. No, it's not frozen. Is it normal for the second to last LiPo cell to be low and the last cell to high? All my batteries are like that. I think Shaman 606, that points more to an issue with your charger. I think your charger thinks that does the charger show that the cells are imbalanced, or does your battery checker? Because your charger or your battery checker could be miscalibrated, and that's what you're seeing. Somebody in the Discord is asking for a link to my Patreon. Link to the Patreon is in the video description, as always. Mothy wants to know if I flashed my Meteor 65 to 411. I did not, Mothy. I had a race to go to and win, I might add. And I didn't want to jack with the tune on the... Plus, whenever I review a quad, the first thing I do is I fly it as delivered before I try to tune it up. So, UAV Tech says the form link works on desktop but not on mobile. So, unfortunately, guys, if you want to get in, you have to go find a computer and do it on desktop. I'm sorry that's the case, but that just is how it is. You have a whole nother hour to find a laptop and make the entry. So I don't know why it's not working on phone, guys. Affiliate link for the Ender? Sure, since you asked. Mike Grossman, there you go, buddy. If Mike Grossman wins, he's going to have 2. So what, man? Do you have a recommendation on a good freestyle quad in the DRL sim? So what, man? To be honest with you, like, I can't even remember which one I picked. The biggest difference in the DRL sim is, like, if you pick the 5S Racer, the throttle response is going to be so different. So just pick, like, what are the quads in DRL sim? What are the quads? I mean, I don't have it in front of me, and I don't know the quads off the top of my head. So, like, definitely don't fly the Racer 4 if you want a freestyle quad. I mean, the Racer 4... where's the list of quads supported? I don't know. Yeah, okay. Drib is in the house. Drib, this is your chance, man. You want to win an Ender 3? What's your 3D printer, Drib? I don't even know if you would recommend it. Drib has a 3D printer, but I'm not sure he loves it, and I'm not sure he would recommend it. In fact, the last thing I remember is that he was complaining about his 3D printer. Maybe I shouldn't tell this story. He was complaining about his 3D printer, and he was like, it sucks. It's printing bad. I'm gonna like give it away on Craigslist or something. I was like, why don't you just like fix it up? It's like, nah, I'm just gonna buy a new one. Monoprice Maker Select Plus. It's an old Prussian knockoff. Yeah, it's years old. Once they wear out, it feels like it might be the kind of thing where so much goes wrong with it that you just replace it, as opposed to rebuilding it. Let's see here. OSD menu blank on the HX115? What the heck? I don't know about that. I didn't have that problem. Weird. Here we go. Haschenberg, thank you for sharing a list of the quads in DRL Simulator. So, of these, the one I think I fly the most for freestyle has to be the Chameleon, right? That's just like the pure freestyle quad here. Is there a freestyle quad more sort of archetypal than the Chameleon? It's got to be that one. Saucy Beast Mode wants to know, why would I not be able to connect my Mamba F7 to Bluetooth? It shows up on the app, but when I try to connect it, it says connection timed out. Saucy Beast Mode, make sure that you have enabled the MSP protocol on whichever the Bluetooth adapter is connected to. Morg59 wants to know, what's the best 16x16 stack out there? Morg59 is in the Discord, and that means he's a patron. Thank you for being a patron, Morg59. If you want to be a patron, if you want to be in the Discord server, join up with my Patreon down in the video description for as little as $2 a month. Say it with me, or more if you feel like I earned it. Best 16x16 stack. There are only so many 16x16 stacks out there. The one that is at the forefront of my mind, which doesn't mean it's the best, is the iFlight. iFlight just makes really good hardware and really good flight controllers. So since they make a 16x16 stack, I would lean that direction. However, if you want to know more about that, Rich FPV in the chat agrees that iFlight is the one to get. If you want to know more about that, though, at 10 o'clock when I go off the air, Aaron Ciotti usually streams. I'm not 100% sure he's going to do it tonight, but I think he is. He streams at 10 p.m. and he knows so much about micros that you should get his opinion too. He'll be coming on at 10 o'clock. Chad Little wants to know, how do I support you on Patreon or whatever? I keep hearing people are sending you bucks, but when I click on the $ icon, it only lets me send a sticker or a GIF. Chad Little, I don't know why super chats aren't working for you. You can join my Patreon with the link in the video description, though. Let's see here. Metro Drones, thanks for $10 in the super chat. Just happy holidays. Scooter FPV, thanks for $11 in the super chat. Scooter wants this t-shirt. Again, you have to go bother. Let me ask him right now. Oh, and that reminds me. Did the dude ever get back to me? Okay. So hang on. Bob Davis, I'm going to hit up and see if he ever printed more of this shirt, because everybody wants this shirt. Okay. The other question that I punted to earlier in the stream was a question about the $500 printer. I asked this guy I know, what 3D printer around $500 do you recommend? And he says for only $200 more, you can get the FlashForge Creator Pro on sale on Amazon. So this is the guy, in case you missed it, who said to me, don't buy it, don't even look at a 3D printer less than $500. I was like, oh, really? So he says, if you're thinking about spending $500 on a 3D printer, you should spend $700 to get the FlashForge Creator Pro. Okay. But he says on that exact budget, I would look at the Monoprice Maker Ultimate 2. Now, I don't know. This guy just seems to know a lot about 3D printing and has strong opinions. But if you want to spend $500 on a 3D printer, that's the one he recommends. And everybody in the chat is like, no, the Creator Pro is so bad. I don't know, guys. I'm just trying to help you out by putting you in touch with people who seem smarter than me. Okay. FlashForge is lockdown garbage. The chat, I will tell him the chat does not agree with that opinion. Thank you, chat. Weigh in, chat. $500? What printer should this guy buy? I don't know. Flacky in the Discord says, should I, could I, with a cat, should I, could I, in a green eggs and ham, replace the little VTX whip on my HX 100, and should I leave the RX antennas as they are from the factory? Flacky, a lot of those boards, the Beta FPV, the HX 115 comes with the VTX whip soldered on. So if you are going to replace it, you need to be able to solder coax. I did that mod on mine, and I put an Axie Micro on there. It might even be a full-size Axie, now that I think about it. You will get better coverage from an Axie or a circular polarized antenna than from that whip, but if it doesn't have a UFL, it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass to solder, and some people couldn't do it. But people asking about this shirt. He says he has a few left in limited sizes, but he needs to get more printed. Since he's a Get FPV sponsored pilot, I think he should... you guys, hit up Get FPV support. Email support@getfpv.com if you want to buy this fly or die shirt. They will not know what the hell you're talking about. But maybe Bob Davis actually paid to get this shirt designed, and then he paid to get like a 50 or 100 of them printed. But I think a lot of people would want to buy this shirt. Maybe it would be okay. So yeah, don't email support. They'll just be annoyed. They won't know what you're talking about. Alep says, if you're going to spend $500, buy a Core XY machine at least. I agree. I don't know what a Core XY machine is, but for $500, you should at least get Core XY. Preston Monroe has a serious question. I'm new to racing. I have the Eachine goggles too. What's the max range I could expect? Preston Monroe, the max range is going to depend heavily on your video transmitter and your output power and your antennas. There's no way for you to really predict a number. But I would say if you're getting less than like 500 meters, something's wrong. On the other hand, if your VTX is at 25 milliwatts, 500 meters may be pretty generous. So... hang on. I just told him that he should print more shirts. Okay. If a VTX or receiver has only one antenna, can we solder a second antenna, and would it help? No, Techno FPV, it doesn't work like that. Tommy Lou, that is not fake speed typing. That's just how fast I type, my friend. Is it time? Is it time for us to do another typing test on the chat? Hang on, let me put it in front of me so I'm not looking sideways. You guys don't believe how fast I type. Let me ask you this. How do you think I can answer so many questions in one day and still have time for my family and to make videos? Here we go. Ah, I fucked up. Ah. I usually do better than that. There you go, though. 105 words per minute. I had more mistakes. Thanks, Tenaquila. Grab FPV, thanks for 7 reais 90. Good night, I sent from Brazil. Thank you very much. Yeah, when I'm really going, I get close to 130. But I can't keep that up. Shy Perednik, thanks for $2 in the super chat. Any inside info on the X-Lite Pro Bluetooth telemetry? No, my friend. I'm afraid that I'm not as in the loop about FreeSky as I used to be since I started promoting the Jumper T16 and criticizing FreeSky heavily. FreeSky, I would not be the first guy to learn about any new developments with FreeSky at this point. Extreme wants to know, new to FPV and been practicing in DRL Sim. I was doing great till intermediate mode and way more difficult making it through the course. Any vids to help me better understand what I'm doing wrong? Extreme, it just takes stick time, I'm afraid. It just takes stick time. Just keep working those tutorials and it will click. After a few hours of practice, it will click. That it just takes stick time. That's the answer. Mike MC, it's pronounced FreeSky. It is in fact pronounced FreeSky, and that is confirmed. That is confirmed by an internal FreeSky document. There is an internal document from FreeSky that confirms this. It was originally supposed to be FreeSky, but they misspelled it. They wanted to spell it FreeSky, but the problem was it was pronounced, yeah, so they dropped the I but kept the slogan. Yep, FreeSky is how you pronounce it. What's the best way to stream an FPV feed to YouTube? There, honestly, Chase Armstrong, there is no great way to do it. All video capture cards just barf on the crappy RF signal that we get. The video signal is so messed up that the capture card just goes blue screen all the time. The really best way to stream is, I've seen the guys do this. They have a box with a hole cut in it, and they put their cell phone in the box, or they put their monitor in the box, and they put their cell phone on top of it with the camera facing down. The box keeps the sunlight out, and you see the screen, and that's how you stream your FPV feed, and that is actually the best way to do it. You point your phone at a little screen. It's so dumb, but that's the way you do it. As a reminder, if you're new here, we are giving away an Ender 3 Pro. Someone mentioned that another channel was doing a giveaway, and I was like, I could do a giveaway. So I randomly just was like, I'm giving away an Ender 3 Pro. That's the link if you're new here to get in on it. Just go leave your email address there. I know Robbie Jobs would rather I didn't tell them, but hey, what can I do? What can I say? It's only fair. All right. Well, we've done a typing test. We're giving away a 3D printer. How about questions? This is a Q&A, right? Thank you, Preston Monroe, for joining my Patreon. Wicked Sticks FPV, when going from 5-inch to 3-inch freestyle, can use the same rates. Wicked Sticks, I can say that I always start with the same rates. Whenever I go to new quad, I start with the same rates. However, my Acrobrat feels like the rates are so much higher. I would turn the rates down on a 3-inch, but start with your same rates and see how they feel. But when I go full stick on the Acrobrat, it spins so fast, I think I'm going to turn the rates down. So, can you talk about camera tilt for racers? Saeed AG wants to know. What do you want to know, Saeed? One thing, there's a myth that racers always have super high camera tilt. A lot of racers I know fly at just 45 or 50 degrees. And the reason for that is that at that up tilt, when you pitch forward, you can still see the horizon. And if you want to go faster, you just pitch forward a little more, but you can still see the horizon just fine. Whereas if you're at 60 or 70 degrees, you kind of can't slow down. There are only a few racers I know that fly at like 70 degrees up tilt, like really extreme up tilt. One of them, Evan Turner used to. And Evan Turner's mindset around racing is just full send. I think he actually has backed off from that a little bit. But a lot of races are just at 40 or 50 degrees. How much is too much? Well, Saeed, it comes down to how well you can control the quad. If you can't control the quad, then it's too much. The thing is, if you don't have enough up tilt, you can't speed up. But if you have too much up tilt, you can't slow down. And the thing, you need enough up tilt that you can go as fast as you'll ever need to go. But again, if you think about it, because your camera has a wide angle, you can have like 50 degrees of up tilt, and if you want to pitch forward more, the horizon just gets higher in the camera, but you can still do it like on a straight. So that's I think where you want to be. A lot of people think that they need 60, 70. The more up tilt they have, the faster they'll go. But it means that you won't be able to slow down for something like a ladder or some technical part where you need to slow down, and it can be a real problem. I'm not actually much of a racer. But I do hang out with racers and I ask them questions. Mr. Grem says, I seem to remember something about Bite Frost continuing being sold, but uncertain as it was a beta product. Mr. Egrem, the Bite Frost that was sold was a beta product, but it has always been intended to be developed into a full product. So hopefully a full product will come soon. Coelho FPV, thanks for $5 in the super chat. No question. Sterling Youngman, thanks for $5 because I like catching snowflakes. I get that reference, Sterling, but I'm not going to repeat it. Vittorio Grace, thanks for $5 in the super chat. I've been using the FSI 6 and was thinking about updating. Do you have any opinions on the Paladin? Let's look at the Paladin here real quick. We have 600 viewers right now. Your odds of winning an Ender 3 are pretty freaking good. So don't go tell anybody else to join the stream. So, the FlySky Paladin, this is it. You're gonna either love or hate this radio, I think. First of all, it's a big honking radio. It's not in somebody's hand, so it's a little difficult to tell, but it's a big honking radio, and it's a $300 radio. It's not an inexpensive radio. It looks like a good radio, and FlySky can make a good radio, but it's so huge, and it doesn't run OpenTX, and for that reason, I've never really felt like super enthusiastic about it. That's just me. Nicholas Lorca, I'm new here. How do you enter the giveaway? Nicholas, there's the form. Go leave your email address there. There you go. Okay. Jake Rubel, thanks for $2. San Dimas High School football rules. Jake Rubel, are you really from San Dimas, or are you just making a Bill and Ted reference? Trash City LAMF, when changing board orientation, must you alter the gyro orientation too? No. Trash City, so when you log into Betaflight to change the board alignment, there are 3 settings at the top of the little section, which are yaw, pitch, and roll align. And changing those settings changes the orientation of the whole board, including all sensors on the board. The reason for gyro align or compass or mag align is if you have the sensor off the board and you want to do a separate alignment just of that one sensor. Paste in the link in the Discord too, just in case. Bearing down. Now you're feeling. Bearing down is feeling bashful. I was joking when I said do a giveaway. Oh, that's fine. Bearing down. I didn't. I don't even think I saw your message, man. I just was like, hey, don't leave my stream. Because I was like, Sovol's doing a giveaway. Wow, people are going to leave my stream just to get the free 3D printer. I don't want people to leave my stream. So I was like, I'll do a giveaway. It's not, you don't have to feel bad bearing down. Richard Lothian, thanks for $5 Australian. Just got a heap of 5S batteries. New Tattoo Redline? Who makes Redline? 1300 5S. Can you recommend a motor KV for 5-inch? Richard, if you were to ask, like, what is sort of the canonical KV for 4S, it's probably around 2400 kV these days. For 6S, it's about 1700 kV, and for 5S, it is around 2100 kV. There is some wiggle room there. You can run 2300 kV 5S, especially if you have a lightweight racing quad. You can run 1900 kV 5S, and it would fly okay, but be a little underpowered. But if you're running 5-inch props on 5S, the starting point for motor KV is about 2100 kV. Let's see here. Ciotti FPV is going to be streaming at 10 at the end of my stream. I will go off at 10 and just after I do the giveaway of the Ender 3. Will Bitefrost ever reach the quality level of DJI Ziguro 20? I feel like the kindest thing to say is that they're different products. They're doing things differently. Bitefrost is focusing on compatibility with analog cameras as well as high-definition cameras and low, consistent latency and analog style breakup. So I think it's hard to say what Bitefrost is going to be able to do because we haven't seen Bitefrost with a truly high-definition camera. To my eye, the camera that Bitefrost shipped with looks like just a really good 1200 TV line standard definition camera. It doesn't look like high def. It looks like really, really clean standard def. My theory is that the camera is outputting an AHD signal, but it's basically just standard def sensor upscaled to high def. That's just my guess. I don't know that for I'm not saying that's true. Please don't sue me. But that's my impression. So I would love to see Bitefrost with a properly high-definition camera, and I don't think we've seen that yet. Will it reach the quality level of DJI? It depends. It's hard to say. That's hard to say. DJ Dub says, about the FlySky Paladin, the big thing with that remote is the XJT module. Tell me more about that, DJ Dubs. I will not be entering the giveaway as an Ace Man. Keegan S says, hey Joshua, I'm a new pilot. I'm about to purchase my first pair of goggles and I'm torn between the HDO2 with rapid fire or DJI digital system with rapid fire. What do you think? Here's what I'll say, Keegan. The HDO2, when you're looking at a standard definition feed, the OLED screen on the HDO2 1000% looks better than the I think it's LCD screen on the DJI. But when you're looking at an HD image in the DJI, the HDO2 can't do that at all. The DJI can give you a decent analog goggle and the only high definition goggle worth getting today. And if you're thinking about spending $600 on an analog system, I think a lot of people would be happier spending the money on DJI. I shared a picture to my Facebook today of an email I got. So many people who are buying DJI and going, I'm never looking back. And some people are going to hear me say that and be like, here he goes, shilling again. But I'm really not. I'm just telling you that my inbox 2-3 times a week, I get messages from somebody who's like, why DJI is so great, I'm never looking back. And I'll bet you that if you are starting from scratch and you buy DJI, you will probably feel that way too. Especially because now you get it's got a decent analog receiver too. Yannick J is proud to have never owned any DJI product. Hey, I dig that. If you feel like you are not okay with DJI's ties to the Chinese government, if you just don't like DJI the way they sort of monopolize I get that. And if you don't want to buy them for that, the HDO is an amazing, amazing analog goggle. And when there is when Bitefrost matures, it will be a great digital goggle too. I love my HDOs. I feel very, very privileged that I'm able to own both HDOs and DJIs, and Orcas, and I don't have to pick. But if you're just going to buy one, the DJI makes a very, very compelling case, especially now that they've fixed the AV input, and it can be a good analog goggle as well. All right, posting that link to the giveaway form. Click that link. All right, don't start. Don't start with the political stuff. Keep it FPV focused. How's it going in the Discord? Bearing down. I don't like the one I received. What do you mean bearing down? Oh, no, that's not true, bearing down. Oh, bearing down thinks I'm giving away my Ender. No, I'm not giving away my Ender 3 Pro. I'm keeping mine, and I'm making content. I'm just going to order you one off of Banggood, bearing down. I'm not giving away mine. No, I'm keeping mine. How do we join the Discord, says the Mr. Delirious. Chat, how do you join the Discord? Tell him how you join the Discord. No, Jeff FPV. I'm not giving away my. Let's be really clear. I love my Ender Pro. I'm going to make content about my Ender Pro. I'm going to review my Ender Pro. When I say I'm giving one away, it's just because the Ender Pro is for sale on Banggood. Oh, no, that's not the right. There we go. The Ender Pro is for, I was talking about how the Ender Pro was for sale on Banggood for $188. And I was like, damn, that's a good price. And then I was like, okay, let's do a giveaway. So I'm giving away, I'm going to order you one off of Banggood. I'm not sending you mine. You think I'm going to take it apart, put it back in the box? Forget it. Anyway. Extreme, thanks for $10 in the super chat. Thanks for all your help and for the channel. Richard Lothian, thanks for $5 Australian dollars. Running 1900 kV, higher kV 6S, the 5S will still be good. If you're running 1900 kV on 5S, I think you'll be fine. It'll be a little underpowered, but it's not a big deal. You'll be all right. Raven 187, thanks for $2 Australian dollars. Raven says that Nathan Loop's second to last upload on the Mob 6 is fire. Let's see if we can find that. Nathan Loops. Stop that. Nathan Loops. You got an upload on the Mob 6, Nathan Loops? Hang on. Second to last. No, but stop. Okay, no, but. Okay, no, but. Oh my god, mute. Where is it? Is it this one? Freestyle Loops Flying Indoors? Okay, hang on. Alright, is this the second last? Apparently this is fire! Let's find out. Nathan Loops, I'm sorry for streaming your content, but it was a super chat. What could I do? I hope you don't mind. Please don't copyright strike me, Nathan Loops. What? What? You can't freestyle like that. You can't do that, Nathan. Stop, Nathan. Oh my god. Is Ladrib still in the chat? Drib has to see this. This is sick. Ah! What? Stop! Nathan, stop it. This is fire. This is straight fire. Unreal. Unreal. Okay, he crashed. Thank God. Oh. Wow, that was amazing. That was amazing. That's some great piloting. Bags FPV and Sterlingy in the Discord are talking about settings for the GoPros for FPV. One thing that Sterlingy says is, I run 2.7K fixed exposure. Personally, on my GoPros, I lock the ISO, and I lock the white balance, but I don't lock the exposure, because in my experience, if you lock the exposure, you end up with you'll be fine under the trees, but then it'll blow out above the trees, and it's just too much variation in the exposure to lock it entirely. But I do fix the ISO. Mr. Green says, would the receiver module that came in my EV200Ds work in Fat Shark's Armada DJIs? Yes, Mr. Green, I assume it would. That was sick. That was some sick flying. Keegan S. wants the giveaway link. Here's the giveaway link, Keegan. Here's the giveaway link. Upgrade your Ender 3 Pro to have dual Z drives, says Jara FPV. Here's the thing, Jara. I printed a 20mm calibration cube, which, in case you're not into 3D printing like I am, it's just basically a cube that's 20mm on a side. Some thunder. If the live stream dies suddenly, then the power's gone out, and I'll have to do the giveaway offline. The Ender 3 printed just a damn near perfect, like, I don't remember the exact tolerances. I'm not going to run out of the room and get the cube. So people are like, the Ender 3 needs dual Z-axis, but if you could, it printed like a perfect calibration cube. It's printing fine. So I don't actually know if it does need that. I don't know if it does need that. The thing is that if you don't have a direct drive, what people tell me is that the lighter weight hot end on the X gantry is... See, I had to think about it. It's so lightweight that you don't need the dual Z-axis. If you grab the X-axis of the Ender 3 Pro, and you can lift it, and there's a little bit of slack in it, but when you release it, it just settles in, and then it just level the bed, and it's good to go. Adit Kushare says, hey Josh, do battery packs need to be constantly used? I ordered a LiPo 2 months ago, but I had to wait for many parts to arrive before my quad could be fly ready. Just wondering if that impacts LiPo health. Adit, as long as the packs are at storage voltage, 3.8 volts per cell, there's almost no degradation. The other thing that can affect them is temperature. If you have them in the trunk of your car and it's like, you know, a really hot summer day, they can be damaged. But if they're at a reasonable temperature and they're at storage voltage, they can last. That's how they store them at the warehouse before they ship them to you. They basically don't degrade at all. If they're fully charged, then they'll degrade over time. So make sure they're at storage voltage and you'll be okay. MBFPV points out the dual Z will be utilized more when you get to taller prints. You may be right about that, MB. One of the things that people have pointed out is that when you're printing very small prints, your dimensional accuracy doesn't matter quite as much, and the sort of skew of the X-axis doesn't matter as much. But when you get very tall prints, they can kind of slant to the side and stuff, and things get really bad. But if you think about the kind of prints that I'm doing, at least now for FPV, it's GoPro mounts and Crossfire mounts, and it's all small stuff. And some people would say that if you're doing large, tall prints where dimensional accuracy is necessary, then you need to go listen to that guy who said don't spend less than $500 on a 3D printer. That trying to get those kind of results out of the Ender 3 is kind of a fool's errand, and you should just have a better printer overall. That's what some people would say, but since I'm just a total noob with regard to 3D printing, I wouldn't know. Never buy a Delta, says Diego Pedro. Why, Diego? Why never buy a Delta? Devil Bob says quads are the entry drug for 3D printing. You're not wrong about that. Yannick points out that all my LiPos are delivered at 3.8 to 3.85 per cell. Yannick, the reason for that is that a little while back, I don't remember the logic, but they made it like they made it a regulation that you had to ship them at like 3.83 or something. And then all the LiPo manufacturers freaked out because it meant they would have to store them at 3.83 and they would degrade faster. But when you get a battery and it's at like 3.83 or 3.84, you should discharge it to storage, and you should store them at 3.80. In case you're just walking in the door, I am doing a giveaway. I'm giving away an Ender 3 Pro because I heard another channel was doing a giveaway, and I was just like, I can do giveaways. The truth is, I've been watching a lot of Mr. Beast. I don't know if you guys watch Mr. Beast. He's like 25 million subscribers on YouTube, and basically his whole shtick is he gives away thousands and thousands of dollars and makes videos about it. And then his videos get 25 million views, and he makes millions of dollars. It's really a brilliant scheme. So I guess I just was feeling generous. And if you want to join that in, you can hit that form up there. Yeah, license to drive 3.80 is the nominal storage voltage for LiPos. You should store them at 3.8. That is where they take the least amount of damage over time. Jara FPV wants to know what slicer I'm using. I am using Cura as my slicer. And when I say that, now 10 people will come out of the woodwork and be like, oh my God, Cura is so bad. You should use, and they'll pick something else. But here's the secret. The secret is that no matter what slicer you say you use, 15 people will come out of the woodwork and say it sucks and you should use something else. So you can't win. Just use what gives you good results. And the other thing is people will come out of the woodwork and say Cura is the best. So, yeah. Cotis says, Cura is so bad, you should use Cura. That is deep right there. Got a couple more super chats coming in. Edgardo German says, thank you for $5, Edgardo. Hey, Joshua, new Success XA F4 all-in-one board. Take a look. All right, well, for a $5 super chat, I will take a look. I think I know what you're talking about, Edgardo. This is the, where is it at? Yeah, this is the true all-in-one board from iFlight. This has built-in ESCs. It's a flight controller and ESC. All in one. How about that? Just solder up the motors and you're good to go. Plug in your DJI Air unit, solder up the motors, you're good to go. So I have mixed feelings about this. I've seen other true all-in-one boards, and the problem is when you put this much electronics on this small of a board, keeping quality control high is very difficult. Now, I think that iFlight is up to the challenge. There are certain other manufacturers who I would just be like, don't touch it. But there's just no question in my mind that this is going to be less robust than an ESC like that's a separate board with lots more room. But if you absolutely need to get the smallest space possible, I think there's a place for this. But personally, and then the other problem is that if when you pop a FET and you blow an ESC, you're placing the whole board, although at a price of $60, well, that's about what you'd pay for some 4-in-1 ESCs all by themselves. So, I mean, I guess you're not out too much. You just got to basically buy a new ESC. Yeah, I guess. It's got its place, but I'm not sure it would be like my favorite. The thing is, that's not less soldering than, because most 4-in-1 ESCs just plug into the flight controller. So it's no fewer solder joints. It's just one fewer board. Jason Benassi says, the best upgrade so far that I've done on the Ender 3 is to install a glass bed with a PEI top sticker. All filaments stick and come off beautifully. I agree, Jason. I'm still new at 3D printing, but personally, the textured glass bed on my Sovol SVL1, I love it. I've never had to do a bit of bed prep. I clean it with alcohol every once in a while, and stuff, as long as I got the temperature right and I got the spacing of the nozzle right, then everything just sticks. Whereas on the Ender, it has the flexible removable magnetic mat, and it's also okay, but TPU especially doesn't stick as well on the Ender compared to the glass bed. Siati is pointing out in the chat, the other problem with all-in-ones is that you got at least 14 wires hooked up, which restricts the ability to soft mount and puts a lot more vibes into the gyro. That's not a bad point, Siati. When you have the gyro mounted on the flight controller and the motors hooked up to the ESC, the flight controller can be soft mounted, and that keeps the vibes out. If you've got a true all-in-one like this, these motor wires are gonna restrict your ability to soft mount and maybe add vibration. Although Ciati says Ciati is giving away one of these tonight. Okay. Cool. Well, if it's free, I guess I'll take one. I can't read your... Oh, I'm missing super chats. I'm falling behind. Let me catch up on my super chats. Zemir, thanks for $5. Orca posted a pic with the Caddx and the aux bay open. DJI module soon. Yeah, Orca posted a picture on their Facebook page, which seemed to suggest that they would be having a DJI compatible module in their auxiliary bay. That's what it seemed to suggest. That would be pretty cool if true, but I don't know anything about that. Edgardo German gives another $5 to say the Luminaire Lux Mini F7 20x20 stack. I think only the motor pads are very close to each other, but looks awesome. Well, for $5, super chat, Edgardo, I will. Let's take a look at the Luminaire Lux Mini. Those aren't too bad, and that has a VTX as well. See, I'm more of a fan of a little stack like this because at least I can replace a part when it breaks. It looks okay. Look, does it me or does it look really similar to the iFlight 20mm stack? Do you think iFlight is the one? Let's look at the iFlight stack. Do you think iFlight's the one that OEMs that? No. Mini. Where's the stack? Here we go. I guess it doesn't look the same. The iFlight Mini stack doesn't have the buttons on the side, so I don't know. But yeah, that's a good one. I could see that. Sam D12 wants to know what I use to discharge batteries to 3.8 volts exactly. Sam D, what I do when I fly, I use the OSD to stop flying at as close to 3.8 volts as I can. If I'm really having a good time and I really want to push a pack, or if I'm like trying to do freestyle to a song and the song is just a little too long, I'll run them lower. And then when you're done, the packs will all be like at 3.6, 3.7, 3.8 volts, and probably they're close enough together in voltage that you can put them on a parallel board and you can put them in storage using a parallel board. The other thing, I don't know if you can see this, but if you look over my shoulder, there's 1, 2, 3 HobbyMate D6 Duos. Those are 2-channel chargers, and that's 6 channels. So if I'm feeling lazy and I don't want a parallel charge, I'll just put them on the HobbyMates and put them in storage. Big Papa Nix, thank you for a $5 super chat. Thank you for all your time, work, and knowledge. You kept me flying when I wanted to give up. Thank you, Big Papa Nix. So many people reach out to me, and they are frustrated and fed up and about to quit. And I have such mixed feelings about that because the frustration does not end, does it, guys? If you've been in FPV long enough, you know it is just one frustration after another. It gets a little better as you get more experienced, but it never ends. And on some level, I feel like you just have to have it just has to get its hooks in you. And then you just want it so bad. You don't care, and you'll overcome that adversity. And if you don't have that, maybe it's better that you just quit. But I try and keep people in the hobby and help them overcome that frustration. And I'm glad that you didn't give up, Big Papa, and hopefully you're here now and having a good time. Let's see here. Ferocitor says, is there a misconfiguration if I can change VTX settings in both the Smart Audio and the immersion menus? No, Ferocitor. In Betaflight 4.1, they are working to integrate the Smart Audio VTX system. And so what they did is they created this underlying sort of function that adjusts the VTX, and both the Tramp and the Smart Audio menus interface to that. So it used to be that if you had Smart Audio, the VTX SA menu worked and the Tramp menu didn't work, and vice versa. But now in Betaflight 4.1, both the Tramp and the Smart Audio menu work regardless of which of those two you're using, which is kind of confusing. They should really just make it one menu now, but they haven't done that yet. JTJ250 wants to know, what are my thoughts on the Racer Star 2514 1498 kV on 7-inch? Well, in general, I'm not too impressed with Racer Star motors. They are cheap and they're not bad, but for the price, they're not bad, but objectively, they're kind of bad. I mean, if they weren't like $7 a motor, then they'd be terrible. But since they're $7 a motor and like 5 out of 6 of them are okay, then it's okay. But here's the thing. So many people who run 7 inches are actually big fans of the Racer Star, like 25. I think, I'm not sure if it's that exact motor. So many people who run 7-inch are kind of big fans of the Racer Stars that maybe they're a decent motor. I haven't tried them. I don't have strong thoughts about them. But I can tell you, if you fly 7-inch props and you like the Racer Stars, you're not alone. Bright Until I Fly is in the chat. Hey there, Jack. Bright Until I Fly. How's it going, buddy? How's your podcast going? Popular Mechanics says, Joshua Bardwell, what did you do for fun before FPV? So I have always gone through phases where I'm extremely passionate about a certain hobby. And then usually after about 2 years, I move on to something else. FPV has been the exception to that. Before I got into FPV, I was big into welding. Why welding? Well, I don't know. Just one day I got to try a stick welder. Somebody let me try a stick welder, and I was like, this is pretty freaking cool. If you've never welded, welding means that you take metal, solid metal, and you go, screw you, you're a liquid. And then you stick it together. And I don't just mean you stick it together like you glue it together. I mean you literally make it one thing. That's pretty freaking cool. Welding's pretty freaking cool. So I got into welding. I wouldn't say I was ever good at it. Like, welding is one of those things that, like, people who are good at it are, like, really good at it. But it was a lot of fun. Before that, I had a tractor. That sort of led into the welding. I played with my tractor for a while. Before that, once upon a time, I played guitar. I still technically can play some things on guitar because you never forget, but I don't play enough to really consider myself proficient. Bill Revenaugh, if you've always wanted to weld, listen, dude, go on Craigslist. You could get an old stick welder for $200. If you've always wanted to weld, I mean, okay, so you're going to need gloves and a hood. You're not going to get out for $200, but if you've like always wanted to weld, a stick welder is so easy to get into and it's so freaking fun. Just get a stick welder, get your safety gear and get some welding sticks and just like make freaking lines on a piece of bar stock or something. Welding is so freaking fun. Chucky 2009, yeah, Chopper Girls. I was watching Chucky 2009. If you don't know who he is, he's a big YouTube channel on welding. I was watching Chucky 2009 before he got big. I was watching him when he was just this little channel, this dude. Now he's a big-time YouTuber, but yeah. Blake Terra, I did stick weld and TIG welding, but only steel. I never got into aluminum TIG welding. And I never did MIG, if you can believe that. I did stick and TIG, but never MIG. Yeah. Hey, by the way, we're doing a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway of a Ender 3 Pro at the end of this live stream. In about 15 minutes, I'll do the drawing. If you want to get the entry, you can right here. Right here's the entry form. I'll paste it in the Discord as well. Flacky, yes, the D6 Duo will charge 2S and 3S high volts, no problem. Duck My Squee in the Discord says soldering is welding for people with good eyesight and fine motor skills. I'll tell you this, Duck My Squee. If you can weld, you can solder all day long. Because welding requires you to understand the relationship between heat and molten metal. And once you can weld, like soldering is just like you just are like, okay, no problem. I get this. This is easy. Dennis Brown has a new Aris quad. It'll failsafe at about 40 yards, and I can't figure out why. Any suggestions? Dennis, when you get failsafes, it's really just process of elimination. You have to swap the antenna, swap the whole receiver, and see if that fixes the issue. And if so, then it was your receiver. If you swap the receiver, or if you have more than one quad and you can bind the quads and try them all out, if you're getting fail-safes on all of them, then it's the transmitter. Now, since you just bought an Aris, probably you only have one quad, and this is not really an option for you. Since you bought an Aris and it's a ready to fly, if you're getting fail-safes at like 40 meters, I would ask Aris to try and make it right for you. That's what I would do. And they're going to be like, sorry, we can't help you, most likely, unfortunately. But you got to try. Christian Jones, unfortunately, the link doesn't seem to work on mobile. Unfortunately, you got to figure out how to sort that problem out for yourself. I can't help you with that. Bad Habit RC, thanks for $5 in the super chat. FPV manufacturers should make a kit version and a ready to fly. That's my opinion. I love to build quads. Maybe that's why I own the Tyron 109, 129, because they're a kit version. Yeah, I hear you, Bad Habit. I mean, there's kits and there's ready to flies, and I don't think there's a lot of mixtures there. Jeff Starr, FPV, wants to know how to enter the giveaway. As we get closer to the end of the stream, more and more people are going to be freaking out about their inability to enter the giveaway. You got to go to that Google form and enter the giveaway there. 686 viewers right now. My highest. I think that's one of my highest ever for a normal Q&A stream. Any RC cars in my past, asks Mega City Perp. I did. I can't remember what I traded for an RC car. I don't remember what I traded, but I got an RC car. It was a little buggy. It wasn't like a little tiny car. It was about yay big. It was a little buggy. And I took it to a dirt track here in Knoxville, and I drove it around, and I jumped it off a jump, and I broke the front end suspension. And then I looked at all the parts of the front end suspension, the bushings and struts and springs and dampers and I don't know what else. And I was like, I have no idea where to start with this. And then I sold it. Because I got like 10 minutes of driving before I broke it. I jumped it, to be fair. And then I didn't know how to fix it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to sell this real quick. Mr. Grimm, I have tried gas welding, so I had a TIG welder and an argon tank. Hang on, somewhere. Let me try it real quick. Look at this. I made this. I made this. Like literally, I welded this together. Like literally, I built this whole thing from like raw metal. That was my welding cart back in the day. Not bad, huh? That's not bad, huh? Painted it. Okay, not a great photographer, but there you go. Oh, apparently I have an album. Let's see. Oh, here's some other things I welded. Once upon a time, I apparently fixed my mower. Yeah, that's my weld. It's a terrible weld. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. All I wanted to do was get this mower frame back together. My neighbor gave me this mower. And this was a vertical weld, right? It wasn't a flat weld. So I wasn't real good at this. See? This is me repairing a welder frame, or a mower frame. And there's me, I was posing for a picture here. this company Everlast asked for some product shots. I'm not actually welding on my trailer. I just clamped a piece of stock there and I made some sparks and someone took the picture. Yeah. But, yeah. Anyway. And here's my son wearing a welding helmet. Welder's mask. All right, anyway. Nathan Loop says, I will not copyright. Thank you, Nathan. That's some hella flying, Nathan. You're a hell of a pilot, man. I'd like to say that you were showing off the Mobula 6 there, and the Mobula 6 is probably fine, but at the end of the day, you're just a damn good pilot. Roland B says, if it holds, it's good. Roland B, my neighbor had that mower for like 15, 20 years, and he was ready to buy a new mower, so he gave me that mower, and he said, the frame is cracked. And he said, you're into welding, maybe you can weld it up. I welded up that mower, and it held. That weld held until I later ended up getting rid of the mower to someone else, but yeah. All right, guys, it's 9:50 p.m. It's time we do the giveaway. If you want to try to get into the giveaway, here is the form where you can do the giveaway. Let me make sure I've caught up on my super chats. I think I'm caught up, though. Yes, I'm caught up on all the super chats. So we're going to do the giveaway real soon. Daniel Rizzoli. Hey, Josh, I can't figure out the smart audio output value for my iFlight VTX. Is it 2.0? Daniel Rizzoli, here's the thing, man. It's probably 2.0, so try it and see if it works. If you can look at the debug value, set in the black box tab, set debug to smart audio. And then if it is 200, 260, if it's 2XX, 2 anything, that's 2.0. If it's 300 or 316 or 318, 3 anything, that's 2.1, but it's probably 2.0. There you go. Jake Beerer just got here. Jake, go to this form and put your email in. I'm doing a giveaway of an Ender 3 Pro. License to Drive says, you realize people will be asking for giveaways on every stream now. Well, they can ask. Jeff Star, the link just brings me back to your channel. That's because you're on mobile, Jeff Star, and your phone doesn't like the link. It can't handle it. Try copy paste the link. I don't know what to tell you, man. Open your browser and paste the link into your browser instead of clicking it. If you can't get the link to work and you can't enter, I'm so sorry, but you got to just figure it out. I'm so sorry. Sabine Cercel, am I going to meet Ciati in Atlanta? Hey, Ciati, I'm coming to Atlanta tomorrow night, and I'm going to be in Atlanta through Saturday. We're going to get together, right? Okay, Ciati, let's get together, dude. Giveaways, and here's the thing about giveaways. I mean, I love doing giveaways, and I love helping you guys out. But at the end of the day, I got to hit you up. By the way, are you here and you're watching this stream and you're having a good time? Are you not subscribed? You don't have to be subscribed to win. That's not how I roll. But if you're watching the stream and you're having a good time and you haven't subscribed, why not? Subscribe. Okay. That's it. Steezy FPV says the dude who gave you $50 for Christmas should get a Bardwell too. I don't have t-shirts. I need merch. I don't have any merch. Anyway. Jeff FPV, thanks for $2. No question, just thank you. Okay, guys, it's 9:54. I got to finish this giveaway before Ciati goes on. Where's the dang window with the dang giveaway? I sound like Boomhauer. There's a dang window with that dang old giveaway. Give that dang Ender 3D printer giveaway. That's not a good Boomhauer impression either. I'm sorry. I apologize. King of the Hill. Okay, guys. Here we go. So, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to show you guys all. I'm not going to make the mistake that I made once of showing you all the emails. I'm going to cut off the entries for the giveaways right now. The entries are closed. I apologize if you didn't make it. I apologize if you had technical issues. Now I'm going to download the responses as a CSV. and open them up. And again, I'm not going to show you this because I don't want to expose everybody's emails like I did that one time. And we're going to draw a random number. 564 entries. And I'm going to draw, let's see. I'm going to go to random.org. And I just need a random number from, okay, the first line, hang on, I got to switch off it so you don't see the spreadsheet. The first line is just a title line. So there are, line number 2 is the first entry. Line number 564 is the last entry. So a random number between 2 and 564. Here we go. We'll do the drawing right now for the Ender 3 Pro giveaway. It's number 142. And again, because I don't want to expose everybody's email address to the internet, you're just going to take my word that I'm going to tell you who number 142 is. I guess I shouldn't say his email address either. Number 142 is well, now how do I announce the winner? It is AL5A2 something at something. I'm going to email you. If your email address does not start with AL5A2, then you didn't win. And if yours does, then that's probably you. Ciara Walquist says, that's me, I won. Thank you. Congratulations, Ciara Walquist, on the giveaway. I will email you and get your shipping information. I'll just ship it straight from Banggood. All right, guys, that is going to do it for the stream. I hope you had a great time. I had a great time. I hope there were some questions answered. Oh, William Kimball, thanks for $5 in the super chat. You guys giving me super chats at the very end of a stream. Very risky that I'll go off the air and miss you. William Kimball, thanks for $5. I moved a Kakute F7 Techo Stag from a Copus to a Xylo Freak style, but I have a weird flutter when throttling. Make sure nothing is touching the gyro, William Kimball. Email me or message me on Facebook if you want more information about that. Make sure your filters, are the filters at defaults? And if you have high-def video of it, that could be helpful. Preston Monroe wants you all to smash that thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for participating in the live stream. This is at one. Now everyone's leaving. The concurrent viewers is going down. Look, I did the giveaway. Now it's all dropping off. It's all going. All right, guys, stick around. Aaron Ciotti is going to be streaming. Aaron, post the link to your live stream. Aaron Ciotti, if you can't get enough of streaming and you want to stay up even later in the night, he's going to be streaming. He's going to post the link here right in the chat. Let's go find his stream right quick. Let me find Aaron Ciotti here. Ciotti is going to be streaming tonight starting at 10, just as soon as I go off the air. He probably is live already. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. But that's going to do it for me. I am going to get out of here. Aaron, post your link, dude. Aaron is also doing a giveaway of an iFlight all-in-one flight controller. Yeah, Mackenda Bacon says, thank you to Severe Distillery for their Tequila, which is at least 50% responsible for me spontaneously deciding to give away a $200 3D printer. At least 50%. I will see you next time. Watch the channel for more awesome content this week. And, yeah. All right. Go on. There's Aaron's link to his live stream. I'm going to end this one. Thank you guys so much. Happy flying, everybody. See you around.